But that was definitely in with my solo stuff. Like, I do not like the music, which makes me sad to say, because I think there are people out there who follow us who like might really enjoy it. I see like there's, thousands of people listening to it still every day, even though I genuinely do not like the music that I made when I was with Island on my solo thing. But that was my fault because I didn't really speak up. Like, I wasn't really like putting my 2 cents into anything that I was doing, and I wasn't.
You felt like a puppet, kind of.
Yeah, well, but it wasn't. Yeah, like it wasn't like no one was like controlling me. I was just like going with whatever they were saying because I didn't know what I wanted. Yeah, okay. I didn't have a musical identity, and like I didn't really like know myself outside of music either. I was in just like a in between place where you just
When you were promoting My Love, were you faking that? Like,
no, I wasn't faking it because I was excited to like actually release music. Period.
The Dante feature
and like, the Don Toliver feature, like his verse is so hard. The beat is so hard. JR is so hard. The producer, J Cash, is the dopest, man. Like, I love writing music with him, but like I wasn't giving me in those sessions, and so it didn't translate to me in the song. And someone would murder that song, and it would be an amazing song. I'm not trashing the song. It's just me on the song at that point in my life. I just wasn't. So it wasn't fake, like on your guys' interviews and stuff, like when we did that, or on anything that I did on any sort of podcast or interview. It was just like me, like listening to everybody. Like, okay, like obviously when you put out a song, you have to promote it. Obviously when you do anything in the public eye, you have to like, champion it and like go make sure as many people hear it as possible. But then when it came to like the TikTok stuff, because that was brand new, and like the label was like, you got to do this dance, and I'm like, I'm not like a dancer, like I'm not a TikToker.
It's funny because our boys were being like, some of our we were like being honest with G. We're like, dude, TikTok dances, like don't go down that route. Okay?
No, and I appreciated it so much, but it also like made me feel like shit at the time, because I was like, how am I supposed to, like, I can't say no to my boys and I can't say no to my label, but like, how do I be me and do this? And nowadays it's like, if you're gonna promote, like we're gonna promote our song on TikTok for sure, but I'm not gonna be like, doing that bullshit.
He was almost part of the Hype House at one point, let me tell you.
They almost inducted me, man. It was a sad, dark time. I would have been the oldest member.
I would assume you'd be recruited very heavily.
No, it wasn't like that. It was just like, we pulled up there a couple times, and like, yeah, for sure, all the kids were like, not kids, I mean, I don't want to like condescendingly speak on them. Yeah, like they're awesome. That's like how we came from Vine. They came from TikTok, and that's their thing. But like, yeah, they would ask me to be in these like, really cringy thirst trappy videos.
Oh, you should have seen.
And at the time I was like, well shit, like I got nothing going. I hate my music. I want to make money, and these kids are gaining 1 million followers a day, so fuck it, let's do it.
Even in your old age, you've been able to.
My old age, I was 23 at the time.
And you were thirst trapping. You should have seen this one. I think it was like him,
Lil Huddy and Noah Beck.
all like winking at the camera.
Are they all shirtless in gray sweatpants?
I think we may have had. Well, no, we had wife beaters on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gray sweatpants.
Those kids are so maybe we could have had gray sweatpants.
You would.
They're all such nice kids. Honestly, they're great kids.
So they're such nice kids, and like it's cool. Like when you're 19 or 18, like you can do that shit. And even I know they're getting older. They're like 20, 21 or whatever. Like, do your thing. That's where you came from. Remain true to who you are.
Facts.
And grow as you grow. Like, it's just, that's wherever you go, that's where you're meant to be. But like for me, diving into TikTok after like progressing into like legit music, selling platinum records, it was just like. And TikTok is great, but the way I was doing TikTok was like, the label has no idea, and they're just like, all big artists know this, and we weren't even that massive, but like, it was just like, the label is just like, you have to do this. You need to do this dance. Like, look, this girl did it, and she has this many followers, and so if you duet her and do this, you're gonna sell 1 million records. And I'm like, well, fuck, like, are they right? Like, is this true?
I mean, the
like,
sad part is like how well those cringy videos actually were growing you at the time. Like,
I hated it.
It's
though.
Like shit. I mean,
but not like the cringy ones, like with Lil Huddy and Noah Beck. Of course, like you're gonna get a shit ton of followers from like a bunch of young people on TikTok or whatever. But the ones I did on my own that I had to do in quarantine before even a lot of those kids. Yeah,
you were doing like music covers. They were doing great.
Those are amazing. Yeah, I'll still do those. But it was just like, I remember like being paired with like this really talented choreographer named Calvin, and he's the man. We still talk and stuff, and he does a lot of stuff with Camila, and he's an absolute legend, like a talent, right? But for me, like copying his dance moves, I don't look right doing those things. And he's like, trust me, like this is the thing. But he's being paid by the label, and like I don't know how much, so I didn't have a voice is my point. And so I don't want to put the blame on like this manager or this label or this choreographer or this creative director, when in reality it was me that like didn't know what was going on. Like I couldn't really tell you who I was then. So it wasn't their fault.